So just trying to make yourself comfortable and fully relax your body. And then we should reflect on the reason why we are here is to really to train our mind or to educate our mind to our mind. And so because even when we speak of all the finding all the right external conditions, good material conditions, so it's all how much we are successful is really depends on our knowledge within our mind. So therefore it's educating our mind is very important.
Yeah, something. That is the logic in Taki, Mother, several logics and another card, some logics are wrong to get in the wrong to get the carrot to get the Mandova, then little says, Mama, my said, my listen, little said them each other. Some other logic what you got.
So through training and through educating our mind, so what we trying to achieve is to gather all the right conditions, suitable conditions for ourselves. So these conditions could be something related to the well-being of our mind and the bodies. So like as we when we think of ourselves, so we all have something called, which we can call as my mind and my body. So therefore, this the purpose of gaining such knowledge within our mind is to bring the conducive, or the right causes for this, the happiness for the mind and the body.
That's something. That is for teaching Gao other teaching, change that logic Tony, that leg together, Madame Zodia. Leg together, Zodia, leg together, leg dead together, Yaga. Tell them Zodia. Logic Tony. That should in another logic garden, no say day that. Suggestion. Come on, do it. And the day is in Boya. No, she together, Kaga, no sanity, there's Mother Shade, you then can I, you would have. Dear Mother, that's the word. Dear Mother, that's the word. Dear Mother, let you she together, Kaga, don't no sanity. Mother Shade, you have Mother, let you go. Mother, that's you.
So as far as the outer conditions for our life, and particularly for our the physical the need of our the well-being of our physical body goes. So we have we do possess really a good conditions, and so therefore the fact that this is kind of evidence from the fact that we enjoy good physical health, and also we have the good material conditions, good conditions for our life. So this all shows that we, with the externally, so we have all those good conditions. So now, however, despite the fact that we have we have possessed all these external conditions and surrounded by all the good conditions in external, how do we within ourselves, on the mental level, sometimes we feel a bit of unhappiness, as if there's something is missing, and so this so some sort of discomfort. So discomfort, some sort of discomfort, and
no mind relax, no relax happy day, mind no relax, mind no comfortable. That's it. Take that, let the hygiene. Take that hygiene, say, then, say, trouble. Touch the man, they let it. This cocoa, take Karina, so take a lead, that card, no gay, say, pop, and was search, trouble him. Mayan, I didn't know to jam on the witchy, I let it go.
So the fact that internally, so we experience this discomfort or some discomfort or unease. So it's kind of give us some kind of signal also, notions that that internally there's something they are lacking the right conditions because as far as external conditions go, as we just mentioned earlier, so we may have all the right conditions. So this is important to recognize this notion.
Yeah, that thing I got no get to get more drug gets more drug gets some more drug again, see with the Germany, Mogel, then couple guys cup chamber road. Sit no boy. Shining on such a cousin, take a toy, sharp more drug. Sharp more drug is just on the end of the Aita. So there's Dona, that carriers, that's on Dona, that's on table. Change it, no saying them, mother, he said, don't have them. That's a Karina, son. She said, that's on the country you're going and also some table.
So we, have to ask this ourselves questions that why, inwardly why we feel this emptiness and this discomfort, and also there seems to be why despite the fact that that we are surrounded by all the good conditions, but yet there seems to be like an unfinished work to do, and that is endless work to do, and also yet there is the continuous increase of like of stress, stress and the thoughts, disturbing thought in our mind. So as if like as this one great the master Kungtang Jamyang who said that just as like how once you start to shave the beard, then it started to grow. So in similar way, as if despite all those efforts that we're making, but there seems to be the kind of never-ending work or things to do.
시가 당하도 미대야 뭘로는 안 센트럴 저런 내가 좀 새 밥에 시대 밥에 뭐 되게 저기 내가
So how the internally is how we are so weak, so much so that how sometimes even sudden we are very susceptible to how we feel ourselves is susceptible to the external condition. How sometimes a certain external condition can have a very strong impact on our thoughts and emotions.
다 손으로 대도를 당하는 다당이지 않는 새 시대 앞에 용이지 당에는 내가 다 특제 관계되나 다 됐어 다 되면 됐다 이제 와 너무 된 거야.
So hence the subject of our focus or our learning is to look into these how to inwardly how we're going to enhance more peace, happiness and the relaxations.
다 들으자 너 생에 시대 밥에 되다 이제는 가리나 제 상도나 이제는 맞서는 보고래 너기 되네 새 넘어서 새 야부지야나 뒤에 서서 시대 밥에 넣어 그 도반 땡땡 만들고 그래야 돼 내는 대표는 돼야 돼
So there's no doubt that the that we know how important for us to find more than external condition to find these some sort of a stable peace and happiness which arise from within ourselves, and because when we found that, then really then it brings us a genuine sense of peace and happiness. So therefore we have to it's important for us to find out what is the causes and conditions to bring about that inner peace and happiness.
sono tenuto ora ci sei ngene ci sei da pemba de jete tunita yunguwa 그 신이나 좀 거도 주를 세제 제라 편바 내체 지다 주고 다 편바 내체 지다 주를 지대 대에서는 전반의 이제 되게 끊는다 지를 세는 되게 거도 뭐 소용도 상관 도나야
So it's good to have some this the backgrounds of why in the world or in a lot of people we follow all this the various like spiritual practices and and so so essentially these they all the major religions of the world, so they all based on this on the same principle that the which that the human the peace and happiness that humans seek. So it's not something can be acquired simply from the outer or material conditions, and so therefore there's also it is also depends. It's also contingent upon something, upon one's the mind, state of mind as well, and so therefore there is all the religions are founded on this principle of the that to of finding finding the happiness through training one's mind, and also we can also know. So therefore, when we talk of our following the Dharma practice, so this is also we have to understand based on these same principles, so that the peace and happiness that we seek is not simply arise from the external cause, but also we have to find the right internal cause as well. So from this point of view, we also find that how all the religions also emphasize this teaching on cultivating like a loving kindness and compassions, and which are the considered as a very the very positive and a very wholesome state of mind, and so therefore we will also take note that all the religions also the purpose of all the religions also based on the principle of benefiting extending happiness and the benefit to all other sentient beings.
다 들이 다 대통 셀 로지스 다 셀 로지스 때도 가네 난 로지스 때는 네바 보 개와 드레스 파제 지금 강이 대시행인가 나 개와 드레스 세진 선선 대대래 나 안되네 네바 보는 코로아래 녀서 로지스 가는 녀서 칠 로지니까 개와들 파 터져서 가르래서나 디바들래서나 들리오지 로지스 때용이다 세세 다 대마테 세 세대 밥에 뭐야 세대 그 싫어요 타치 주 넌 녀모인 오늘 통제도 봐 년자 때도 잠만 세대 싫어요 주자이다 세대 봐 장수 놀사 만에 봐야 세 놀세 만에는 세대 밥에 많이 맞더니 일단은 세 놀나다길 고지에 잡고 대신 깨졌던 시행인가 야본묘가 집밥 고만이 넣어서 되는 하는데 약을 만들어서 되는 맞아요 야
So and then the mental training, so that we find in all the again in all the same training that we find in all the spiritual traditions, also show us the things that we should adopt and we should do, and the things that we should reject or should not do. And so it is by following this practice of what to what to accept and what to reject, that then they show us a way to bring more satisfying to live a more satisfying life. And because otherwise, how when we do not follow this practice then we will be simply our thoughts and our life will be simply then controlled by the external distractions, external object, external events of in our life. So it's like how without the such practice, applying such practice of such discipline in one's life, then how even when you look at your mind, then your mind will be also almost like in day and night. It will be always the wandering off after various external object of distractions, and which essentially when we check, then the mind falls completely falls under the influence or the dominant power of force of like mental afflictions, and so therefore the result is that what we will find is that our mind is really never actually abide or never rest within ourselves, and so due to all these cause a reason for this lack of mind resting within ourselves, and rather the mind is always preoccupied with all the external object of distractions, and always following after under the influence of such mental afflictions, so that we find no peace and stable peace and happiness. So therefore what this shows is that therefore the purpose of the meditation practice is to break this the habit of the mental distraction, and then bring the mind inward.
Yeah. Yeah, that's something that know you get that. Some tell how to keep it. Is that then on the yes, Geelong, said Jay, Paton, then on the new Mutua. Said my knee got the said no shit, that one, ye have good, said son of Tojan, then on the new Mutua. This is the other say something. I wonder. 니 거가 저거 세인이라 그게네 잘라 가지는 건데 니 거가 저거라 리세니가 해래들 거가는 정도요 예 야셔다 니 되게 얘나요 새 자이 바치 땅어데 노세 노르지 마두가 이그자야 말 우리 시발 아빠지 방 망가 봐 용어인데 이 새다 새 차지 새 차지 새 라빙 샤샤가 방법입니다. 진짜 저는 대체 또나 긴 루아드.
So we know very clearly from our own experience that how if our mind is not subdued and it's very agitated or very distracted, then we won't be able to really to rest, to relax. So even if our mind is how we all know that how if our mind is very agitated, then even we won't go into sleep, and so therefore this such thing as like how we have to understand the effect of the mind on our experience, and like in our on our health as well. How it is from the point of view perspective of our good health. It is necessary for us to have enough sleep, and not only that, we're trying to allocate a time for sleep. But then when we go to sleep, and then how if our mind is under the is very agitated, very distracted, and then we won't go into sleep. So what this also shows is that when we go into sleep, then we go into a more kind of subtle types of mind, and so therefore in order to go into the subtle type of mind, so we really have to. The way to do is we have to get rid of get rid of all the more grosser level of our state of mind, and such as like the sensual the activity of our sensual consciousness, and so we have to subside or have to get rid of all that in order to even just to find a good sleep. So again, this is also shows, the fact that how this detrimental effect that the mental distraction or agitation can bring to us. So this also shows us, or give us a kind of signal, or to prove that it is necessary for that in order to find the peace and happiness, so we have to calm our mind inward, and also gaining some kind of control over the mind. So all this unwanted experience that we go through, so these are all indicate, all tells to us that if we want to get rid of this, then we must engage in meditation practice, because it is because meditation practice is a very effective way to really calming our mind inward, and then and gaining control over it. So it is those of you who those of you who have the experience of this in the meditation practice, so you will know that what the benefit of the practice in terms of overcoming such a the distracted state of mind, and then you would know how it is on a certain certain time. So we will know that you will have to engage in meditation practice. So because of what you experience in those certain time, the unwanted thoughts and emotions, any such disturbance, disturbing thoughts. So because of those unwanted experience, so you know for yourself that you have to do the meditation practice. So even those other your friends, who who knows that you have been practicing meditations. Even sometimes they also remind to you that you should, maybe it's remind you or even to encourage you to certain time to do the meditation practice. So those could be the same people who previously when they were they could be even against meditation practice, but since they've seen through you, they've seen this benefit of meditation practice. So even sometimes they can also inspire one to do the practice.
Rongi said, Shede Babel Mania, Robert never Tiaco. That day, Hako. Never case of shooting intended in your mansion. Tindilia. No so big, Laji Table, somebody Laji Tela, Roche was Mate, yes, it was Zoto, Mate, don't want him. Goja peg motor color, Goja peg color love woman, Goja peg called motor you.
So you can the friends can also really can observe in you this clear benefit of the meditation practice, and how the benefit is not only just in terms of the through meditation practice, you find more peace and happiness, but also in terms of even for themselves, how it also make bring them more peace and happiness when you have when you enjoy this peace and happiness in you within you. So therefore it is when it is the from one from one's own experience that one is one can recognize and can acknowledge this benefit of meditation practice, as well as something this can be recognized and acknowledged by those who are around you.
That's some test that I can in the Chile Pache, you are good. Yes, you are drunk, we said, Shumban Jego. The Baba Kong, the Jelan Sewa, the Baba Pepo goes. Also tell the little lawyer than what you are. Shumban Egypt in yourself. Jelan Sewa, she did start tennis and lodging other picture. Then another going. Ona, Gavard, Dibapo, that Diva shown us, Diva Yoga rest and that picture. You see, children, Diva use that one, Kumachi in the world. Roger, the opposite they are Gad, Diva Pong. Tang other Tama by the Nemo on dry, Diva said Shono. Diva said Shonen, Diva the Jones, Diva Shop, good and Roger can know. Take it another long so much sugar now. Mother Tama long so much sugar and Jella Shova Nijango, Jella Tapon. Ting Mother City Chicken, Roger the Apple Pen, and the song told them. Money and Jing, Shamba, Jing, Nije, Jing, Jing, never machine, money in a budget, far trauma the budget for your son. He'll go down any other G. Yet maybe lawyers attended in the mother tell, some on the tales you can do it.
So really, there's there's some these fundamental teachings, which has been taught by all the major religions. So this is something which if we applied in our life, so we will find it very beneficial. So, like as we were saying before, these teachings kind of give some sort of like a guidelines for our life, which is on the relating to what the practice that we should do, and what are the things that we should what we should do is to virtues, and such as like also to trying to cultivate and developing love and compassions, which are all like a virtuous state of mind. And so now the reason why we make this effort trying to cultivate this such a virtuous state of mind, and also trying to create a virtuous actions. So it's because this will result in more benefit, more happiness for oneself and for others. And then on the other hand, we this spiritual tradition teaches us to abandon like the negativities or like sinful actions, and trying to like such as overcome, or trying to overcome these like ill thoughts or harmful thoughts towards others. So how now this practice is also how it is so relevant to our life. Even if this if you are if you put this teaching into practice, then this make a difference to even if you're living with another person. So it through your practice will bring more kind of benefit and more joy and happiness in that relationship with that persons. So therefore we of course we have to admit that we as an ordinary being, as a common beings, we are subject to certain creating any such like a wrong deeds or wrong actions. But however, what is required is what is important is to trying to apply certain methods to purify those the wrong deeds or the wrong actions. And so this is why how not only in Buddhist tradition but even in Christianity is how you will find it is very evident the fact that they, for the purpose of purifying the negativity, so they like in most church they have in a corner room like a confession room. So therefore all this has if people integrate all this practice into our daily life, so it has a real it will bring a real benefit to oneself and to others.
Doing now, doing a sense of property. There is a day of Sarata, never remember that Shang Ling will, never shall but Shang Ling will. That's the social Yanko Motala, someone eating one of call Robert Zotan, yeah, Mutu social Hichikade. Mutter, I said they are there. That's the new thing. J'ai changé pas de mon guichet, peut-être n'est pas de mon cher yale. Till no judgment, then one of my dear country. So, I want run on a desert in Mother, show what it never much what it. So, what? Tell a puppet, tell no like you. King no back on my pentoje, King never put a jail on my descendant. Ngene ko li chi xiang ga pro chu chi bai xiang ga ga ji ya ngene ne nge xi mi de lo che de le xiang a pro chu chi ba ko ga de nga la ma do men de xiang de mo ngene ne tin da xiang ya che zong bo de mo kan chi chi da yo pe做田地当结束，然后当年谈到田地，俺们别人反正松都看着，松中看着松中俺们没去结婚，你松这都不要，没这个松都是人家在说我的，是他这如的，侬松被痛呢，像侬个他这痛呢，容易是在旁边说吧，在看见说个当然人家在这个呀的。所以说，年过过的吧，他的呢，那年过的啥的，上班去，你就去，上班去这个可能去电话，可老板去，在啥子老板去，另外呢，另外啥子就可能偏不去，那我嘛，但是这样的你个，所以说现在爸爸要不让咱这是了，啊，这种牛牛那是全部要，原来要的这种。是啊，你在那里当我的啊，他一些做生意吃的是生意，年轻人在人家年轻啊，这全都吃了也没那也。
So in this talk, so really our primary focus is to is the benefit, what benefit these we will bring in our life if we cultivate if we develop the love and compassion for other beings. So what in simple terms what it means is wherever you are living, or wherever you are, so being always being trying to be, or whoever you're with, so trying to be being caring towards others, being compassionate towards others, and sharing your love towards others, and so these in a more very a genuine sense. So what this means that you're trying to be helpful, to being helpful to other persons. If for suppose, for instance, if they are deprived of, if they lack happiness and joy, then you think of how you can bring what you can do to bring happiness and joy in their life. Or if they are inflicted or with some sufferings, or they are having undergoing some hardship in their life, then to think of and then doing whatever you can to help them out of this the hardship and difficulties. And so in this way, how when we when we cultivate, when we show the love and compassion to other beings, and then then it kind of naturally we will be preventing or not preventing any harmful any harm towards others, whether it's by our thoughts or by deeds, and so therefore then on the other hand, if we think of we have to, if we reflect on the benefit of this the love and the compassion that we share with others, what that will bring in our life, and then the benefit, how this can you can, of course, through the love and compassion, so you bring happiness to others. You help others out of the to overcome their sufferings, and so therefore as a result of that, they will feel more become more closer to oneself, and also feel gain more trust in one's own relation, in oneself, in such that how they will deep down they know that they recognize you as someone who can only think of is to benefit you, and you can be fully feel complete faith and trust that it is someone you would never cause even a tiny bit of harm to that person. So therefore, such as it's like sometimes you see people who who regard even certain like their cat as their most excellent friend, and who they and on the which is also on the base that they it never does any harm or any way that they will upset the persons.
All time love, 70 years old, all time love me. I'm good friend. They're coaching my God.
So when the people share this experience of what they have, the benefit what they from their pet, it carries some sort of a meaning, and what it is on the benefits that of the showing love and compassion to others, and so in this way, we what we learn in this session is about how we talk about how it is necessary that even to work on creating or cultivating the causes of our the peace and happiness, on the mental level or within ourselves, and realizing that how the having all the good conditions of the external condition, is simply is not going to guarantee, it's not enough to satisfy one's life.
정말 이제 너 그게 너무 시대 봐봐. 이제 시대 봐봐도. 라 젠타 리버도 타 님도 콜레샤. 타 님도 제일도 콜레샤. 네 이치 매게 소라 이치티 제마 이치 용게다 콜레샤. 다 가르잖아. 근데 shōma ngō tāsā nāma rōngi shōma ije rē yā sō rē kī lō tī mā lī lō chī ngē nē rē sō tā sōnu tē tō nā tēne yā bō ndō wā ngē nē jā tī nā mā dā chī sōnu tō sā rī gō wā rā sōnu tī ngō nyō nē nyō dā sōnu tō wā nō shōma gō nā pē yā rē ije gō nā pē yā rē sōnu tō wā mā sē tē lā lē lā tē kē lā lē lā kē nā kā nyō lē rē ये जेने ध्यान मोर खोल रबा थे या बांगा तो हा को ना लालेला खोल फेमा दे ता ये जुमा ये ना दे से के बाद से ना या पे या ना मा हा को या ता हा को मोजे को खोल जुमा से दा तो दा न्योले लकी दे 시바만 녀러들이 되게 좀 뭐래 신화도 가마 시기야 녀러들이 다 관계 전제 너는 야본 비와 당이 대저 대세가 해야지
so as much as possible, so trying to recognize the love and compassions which we possess, depends even on the different levels which we possess within ourselves as a if you like a inner treasure, and something that we got to. This is what we are talking here. So is trying to even think more on this, how this the love and compassion which we possess within us, how that is the can be the one's own like a most valuable treasures, or can be the most like a unfailing or the reliable friend that one can possess. And so if, we can also see that as if there is something that in the life, if we have to rely on certain guides, or we have to surrender ourselves to some things, then this is the love and compassion within ourselves. It is something which is worthwhile of relying, worthwhile of surrendering ourselves, because it would never fail us, never let us down, and so therefore what is necessary, what is important is is the while it is of course it's important to be aware and to learn about all this, the benefits of developing love and compassion for other beings towards one's brings or bringing this love and compassion in one's relationship with others and all that. But of course it's also the very important, and it's very, that we also then make an effort to put these teaching into practice. So, which in practical terms, so as we just said before, it is to do with how we extend benefit to others, in terms of how we can bring more. If they are lacking happiness, lacking joy, we're trying to give that. And if they are undergoing some difficulty, some sufferings and pain, and we lend our hand to removing them of the other of such pain and sufferings. So therefore, we when we look into this, that in practice, if we develop the more love and compassion towards other beings, towards and then we can we can be assured that it can be the most effective cause to gain trust. If there's someone there, a friend who has lost faith in oneself, who have lost trust in oneself, so it will be effective cause to restore such trust and faith in one's relationship. Or if there's some gap there, to bring that closing that gap, or even if there's no such gap, then it will bring even that relationship more deeper, more intimate, and so therefore there's this practice of cultivating love and compassion, developing love and compassion in our life. So it can only has a result of bringing more, peace, happiness for oneself and for others. So it's not necessarily the case that our the motivations or our intentions to show love and compassion for others, so is to to receive the same from them. But however, it is, we will notice that if we benefit others, out of such love and compassion, then it is natural that if there is if we run into any problem in our life, then there is no shortage of there people coming to one's help. Even if whether they are one's friend or not, there's no shortage of people coming to oneself, and so therefore there won't be any you would never experience any this the suffering of like being of loneliness or being being like isolated from others, and so in this way there's a we can so so the loneliness and so in this way the even when we speak of the practice of Dharma that we to integrate in our life, then really the main practice of the Dharma is to cultivating a positive state of mind, and then there's the really then when it further goes into detail, the positive state of mind, then it comes to this the cultivating love and compassion for others and such beneficial mental attitudes towards others.
one says, you are something that she said, DrolKar no saying you are. Well, she didn't know, call it here, no time to get a key on that. She said, so known you are. Joma is unknown you are. They are saying known you are. She said, she opposite said that, but then you are. I just say more on dress out there, the same what they say more. There is any she said, Nina, couldn't you? Gavo, leg virtue. Sella got it this yes. Chin over the chi, I was children, Nina. Gambo Labo the man yes. Labo again, one gunro yard, gambling gunro yard, sagati, gati teach yours. Yes, I think in it. This yours. Chawa Tula Pajon. What you, didn't Allah Pajan yes. Tang ended. The little she said that child is late. Child told the fire, but you use something non drive. I don't know. God, you told you that's some pet over there. I catch over shivers in your meaning. I'm a getting that's it. Mother Carter, that gamble child. Leave my gun over. Gun there, Mamma Geshe Doga. Same deal, got you, did you? Gava, the Drova came, I said, but I did you. Did you? I thought, Chagona said, come on, send over the charter, power, but you didn't patch and draw a million. God just told you over there. Ah, she gave you. She let the was and I'm something about it. Let you open the water.
So when you when we use the term dharma, so which in Tibetan is a che, which means to modifying or to changings, to like amending, and so this refers to the refers to the practice dharma as a practice which is to training or to changing, modifying our state of mind, and so therefore it is through the practice of dharma. So we bring about the or bring about or develop our very positive qualities, within our mind. So in this way, this master Kungtang Champeyang also said that how even though as you age, your body become like a weaker, but in mind, within mind, so there is this kind of confidence of the lives, a joy and happiness arisings, and so even though with the aging, even though you're getting closer to the moment of the death, but however you feel the joy of like as if how our children, when they go towards, walk towards their home, that's this feeling of this joy. So this implies this this shows the benefits of the practice of Dharma in terms of how how it is so effectively increase or brings more joy and happiness within our mind. So so we're nearly out of time, but I thought we would go over the text, but it doesn't matter. But what's important is the things that we have discussed here about the benefit of the Dharma practice. How as we make progress on the practice of Dharma, then how it will not only you gain benefit in your while you during your life, but even you're towards the end of your life, even there's a great benefits of the Dharma flows in you, and so therefore the what is important is trying to even though we're not able to go over the text, but if you could remember these, what are the things that we just a few things that we have covered in these sessions, and these are something I'm saying to you not because I have given you the advice, but these are the advices, spiritual advices, which come down from the great masters of the past, and those great master who have founded this great this tradition of spiritual practice. So so therefore, so it's what's important is to remembering this important point about Dharma practice that we discuss here.
마고 내리 용거들 내리 센트 불러라 새 노트 내고는가 새 노트는 새 출신 로를 센트를 린트로 하래 런주적 단위래 런주적 단위에 유한초가 유한초에 리버 모델화 싸드는 용도가 다 산도나 완전 새 야포시 내거를 새 달래 이제 그냥 내가 여는 새 가게 되네 가서 쉬어보이면 되지 뭐야 최대 야구요 이제 좀 대선을 담아서 이제 대신 담아는 거 되지 않는 거지
So we will do the usual meditation for a short time, and so just to understand that the purpose of the meditation when we engage in meditation practice, so it is to calming. It is to calming our mind. It is to controlling our mind. And now, what does that mean? Is that so that we have some mind is we have some control over the mind, rather than the mind just wander off wherever it wants to go. And it also means that how when we look within ourselves, how when we think how our mind, how we are controlled by our mind or our thought, and then the thought is then controlled by certain afflicted state of mind or certain mental distractions, disturbing thoughts, and so therefore when the without the control over the mind, then we find we don't find any calm or the rest within ourselves, because our mind is very not within ourselves. It is always wandering. It is after the wandering thoughts, and so I usually trying to focus more. When I talk about the Dharma practice or the meditation practice, I focus more on something which we are directly applicable and relevant to us, to our life, because we do when we talk about the practice of the meditation of Dharma as a means to achieve state of liberation, also state of Buddhahood, in real sense, if we are honest to ourselves, do we really believe that, or we're trying to find more about what is that means, the liberation or the state of Buddhahood, then it can be very, we might get very complicated, and indeed is a very difficult to really to understand. But however, if we when we talk about the benefit, about the reason for having a calm state of mind, then there is no doubt that is something that everyone we wish to have, and everybody wish to have, and that this is because with a calm state of mind, then not only we find mentally we find more peace and happiness, but it would also have the positive effects on our physical health as well. So with when we say the calm state of mind, then or the mind resting, mind at rest within ourselves, what does that mean? Is to be mind is not being disturbed or agitated by various distracting thoughts. So such thought can be related to various thought like events such as which happens in the past, something happened in the past, or maybe something happening in this present moment, or you can have a thought of what you will do in futures. So if we always if our mind always gets so occupied in all these thoughts, then sometimes it get very disturbed, very agitated, and this, when our mind is disturbed, then it will also disturb our physical state of being as well, because there's a relationship between physical body also have some sort of relation with our mind, with our emotions, and then when we say that, because the physical disturbance, we're talking about what is physical. Physically, so we are constitute of just various elements, and these get affected by our mind as well. So on the positive side, if our mind is at peace, at rest, and then how this will have then have the positive impacts on our the elements that which our this physical body is constituted of, and so in this way it also enhances the good health of the body. So therefore, this is something that when we talk about the calm state of mind, so there's no doubt that we all see the benefit there very clearly, even to our the health of our body, and so therefore when it's important to understand the benefit of meditation from that perspective.
Koro go jaba teni nyamunginya kwani kol ya yungwa etani a go jaba teni chi shel dese shel da nyamu tani no nyamu ma sheni a tabi ya yungwa dela teni ala longa je teni ngada ramba de ya ndo hise a son de to dang no go te ya
So because when we talk about the happiness, in terms of achieving the state of liberation. So this is a very. Then we have to understand. In order to understand that, first we have to understand the happiness in terms of overcoming the manifested form of mental afflictions, such as how we can overcome that, prevent that manifested form of mental affliction by when we engage in meditation practice and directing our full mental attentions on the given objects, and when we overcoming, getting rid of all the distraction to external objects. So when we do that, when our mind is rest on the meditation objects, then it will prevent all the manifested mental affliction to arise, and as a result of that, as an effect of that, we can experience some sort of peace and happiness within us. So So when we experience that peace and happiness, then from there, then we could at least then we could extend or expand our knowledge that now how the kind of peace and happiness, what kind of degree of peace and happiness would be if we are able to even to uproot these mental afflictions, and not only just simply preventing or suppressing or preventing it from just arising at this moment. So how when we could experience that peace and happiness, but how we can imagine that we can get some sort of the notion of then the benefit of what is like to achieve the supreme state of the liberations. So we'll begin the breathing meditations. So just relaxing your body, and then as much as possible to try to fix the mind on the focusing on the incoming and outgoing breath, and trying to overcome, if any, all the distractions arise towards any external objects.